Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am live at the Schluntz Gym on the campus of Brookline High School here on Friday, January 10th, and I'm here to broadcast a high school boys basketball game between the home team Brookline High School Warriors and the visiting Newton South High School Lions. The Warriors coming into the game with a 7-2 record following Wednesday's home win over Natick High School, 75-62. It was their first home game in almost a month, but now Brookline in the midst of a 4-game home stretch as they get ready to take on the Lions, a team they played on the road earlier this year on December 23rd. Brookline coming out the winner in that one, 72-68. It was the second closest margin of any game Brookline has played so far this season, only behind the narrow 2-point contest that Brookline lost to Newton North High School just a few days prior on December 19th. So, two very closely matched teams, as could be easily observed in their previous matchup over in Newton. We're now back here in Brookline, and this looks like a fun game. The crowd is packed here to see these two take each other on. Brookline fans being treated to a bit of a doubleheader today, as the boys' game follows up the Brookline girls basketball team, which just took care of business against O'Brien with a final score of 54-35. So the girls team took care of business. We'll see if the boys can take care of business following them up. We're a little under 10 minutes away from the start of this game. We'll take a quick look at Newton South. They're coming into this game with a 5-3 record and a 4-game win streak following a December 29 win over Lexington, 71-48. A January 3 win over Acton-Boxborough, 58-51. A January 6 win over Bedford, 65-51. And a win on Wednesday against Weston, 68-53. So Newton South coming in with some momentum, but then again, so did Natick when they came in 2 days ago with a 3-game winning streak and fell to the Brookline Warriors, giving the Warriors a 2-game win streak of their own, which included the home game against Natick and Tuesday's afternoon contest at Wellesley, which they won 73-59. So both teams coming in with a bit of momentum here. Should be a very good game. Brookline once again coming in with the advantage of experience, a lineup featuring 8 different seniors, including co-captains Ben Murray and Ben Ordonez. The latter, Ben Ordonez, scoring the team-high 17 points against Natick on Wednesday, despite scoring no points in the first quarter. Fellow co-captain Ben Murray finished with 13 points, which included 8 in the first quarter, so the Ben Brigade there providing sort of an opener and closer role between the two of them. Ben's younger brother Theo Murray provided 13 points of his own, including some clutch baskets in the fourth quarter as Natick tried to push back and come back on Brookline, but couldn't quite get the job done as Brookline responded well. On the other side, the Newton South Lions come in with 3 seniors on their roster, so some fewer seniors on this roster than on Brookline. Among the seniors are 2 of the team's co-captains, and Jobin Stewart and Chris Menz. The other co-captain is junior, Max Icardi, and the final senior on the roster, the 3rd senior, Demetrius Huff. So Brookline with the older team, a slightly better record at 7-2 to Newton South's 5-3, and the advantage of a previous win at Newton's place. But Newton South coming in with a 4-game win streak and the desire for payback. Against Brookline for the previous loss. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. We're a little over 6 minutes away from game time, and I'll be back soon to broadcast the first quarter. Thank you for listening. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm here live at Schluntz Gym on the campus of Brookline High School in Brookline, Massachusetts. I'm here covering a boys basketball game between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Newton South High Lions. Huge crowd here at Schlunz tonight. Anytime Brookline faces off against any of the Newton schools, whether it be north or south, you can always expect a capacity crowd, and that certainly hasn't failed tonight, as you can hear the loud fans cheering after the pregame buzzer sounds. And soon we'll be turning it over to the PA announcer for lineup announcements and the national anthem. Brookline coming into this game with a 7-2 record and a 2-game win streak, while Newton South comes in with a 5-3 record and 4 straight wins.
Good evening, and welcome to Schlunz Gymnasium for tonight's non-conference boys basketball matchup between the visiting Newton South Lions and your Brookline Warriors. Participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with these student athletes. Assume responsibility for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. If you require assistance, please call upon a school or security official. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated. Could subject the violator to ejection and may result in penalties being assessed upon game. And now for tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Newton South Lions, we're coached by Stephen Matthews. Starting at guard, a junior, number 1, Sam Pudowski. Starting at guard, a sophomore, number 12, Itai Aleski. Starting at guard, a junior, captain, number 20, Max Ikari. Starting at forward, a senior, captain, number 21, Chris Menz. Starting at forward, a senior, number 23, Navian Stewart. And now for the starting lineups for your Brookline Warriors. Starting at Forward, number 4, a senior, Jamari Jones. Starting at forward, a senior, number 22, Lucio Starting at guard, a senior, number 20, Bryce. Starting at guard, a senior, captain, number 10, Ben Ordonez. And starting at guard, a senior, captain, number 2, our great nation, especially the leadership and sacrifices of men and women who have served and are currently serving in our armed forces. We would like to thank both veterans and current military personnel for their service to our country. Now we invite all to stand for the singing of our national anthem by sophomore Riley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rattled, the bombs bursting in air, giving proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, who saved us that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and
And after the lineup introductions and national anthem, we are now just about ready to get this game underway. The Brookline Warriors going with the same all-senior starting lineup they had on Wednesday, a lineup featuring Jamari Jones, Bryce Burke, Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown, Ben Murray, and Ben Ordonez. On the other side, Newton South running both of their senior co-captains, Javen Stewart and Chris Menz, as well as junior co-captain Max Icardi, junior Sam Prodovsky, and sophomore Itai Alinsky. So Newton South with a slightly younger lineup. As we get ready for the tip-off, it'll be Jones taking the tip-off for Brookline, and number 21, Chris Menz, taking the tip-off for Newton South. Ref has the ball. And there's the first whistle, and here's the tip. Newton South wins the tip. It's controlled by Javen Stewart, who brings up the ball for Newton South. Passes it over to number 20, Max Icardi, who then passes it over to Prodovsky. Then back over to Menz. Menz drives inside. He runs into traffic. Menz looking for a pass. He finds number 12, Alinsky. Alinsky holding the ball in the key. Passes it back outside to Icardi, who then passes it back over to Alinsky. Then back over to Icardi. Icardi driving inside, trying to turn around for a layup. Rolls off the rim and out. Battle for the boards. Newton South springs it free. It's picked up by Prodovsky. Prodovsky goes up for a shot. And it looks like they're going to call the first foul of the game.
Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown is first. Sam Prodovsky is at the line shooting 2.
Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown called for the foul against Sam Prodovsky, who goes for the first free throw and puts it in. Newton South with the first point of the game after fighting for an offensive board and taking it away from Ben Murray. Prodovsky puts up the second shot, no good, back rims it, rebound Jamari Jones. Ball is passed up and reaches Ben Ordonez in the corner. He passes back out to Burke, then up top to Murray. Murray swings it over to the left corner to Jamari Jones. Jones puts up a three, no good, front rims it. A scramble for the board, and it's picked up by Burke. Burke dribbles around to the bottom of the basket, passes it over to Ordonez. Ordonez brings it back out. Ordonez passes it up to Ben Murray at the top. Murray holding the ball, looking for an opening. He swings it over to Ben Ordonez in the corner. Ordonez drives in from the right wing, but gets blocked on his way there, and it's picked up by Stewart, who now brings it across half court for Newton South. Stewart trying to drive inside. He kicks it out to number 21, Menz. Menz then passes it out to Icardi, then over to Stewart in the corner. Stewart almost went out of bounds, passes it out to Icardi. Icardi shoots for three, and he hits it from the left wing. Max Icardi. Newton South now with a 4-0 lead to start this game. Murray brings it across half court, dishes it over to Burke. Bryce Burke with the ball. He drives inside, kicks it out to Jones on the left wing. Jones pump fakes, drives inside, goes for the layup. He hits it! Jamari Jones with the first bucket of the game for Brookline. The score is now cut to 4-2. Newton South brings it up. Passed over to Menz, then passed over to Prodovsky. Prodovsky drives inside, goes for the shot, no good, but collects his own rebound. He passes it out to Icardi on the wing. Icardi passes it to Menz up top. Menz goes for the three, bricks it, no good. Rebound, Ben Murray. Murray brings the ball across half court. He kicks it out to Bryce Burke. Burke pump fakes, steps in a little bit, puts up the shot, no good, but the rebound bounces back to Jamari Jones. Jones passes it over to Murray on the right wing. Murray drives inside, tries to force the layup, no good. Well defended there, and the rebound is collected by number 12, Alinsky. He chucks it ahead to Stewart. Stewart tries to take the shot from the outside, but he's called for traveling. And it looks like we've got a substitution for Newton South. Number 50, Jace Peoples, coming in for Itai Alinsky. So a junior coming in now as Brookline takes the ball. Jones inbounds to Burke. Burke bringing up the ball for Brookline. Burke passes it over to Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown on the left corner. Dahlstedt-Brown tries to dribble in, hits traffic, pulls up, no good. Rebound by Stewart. Javen Stewart bringing the ball across half court for Newton South. He's trying to drive inside, gets around his man, draws the foul, but they don't call the shot. It's not a blocking foul, they're gonna call a reach. I think that's gonna be against Jamari Jones. So first foul for Jamari Jones, second for Brookline. Peoples will be inbounding it for Newton South. Jace Peoples holding the ball, looking for an inbound option. He bounces it into Javen Stewart, and Javen Stewart pump fakes, drives in, hits the layup. 6-2 Newton South. Ben Murray now brings the ball across half court for Brookline. He's looking for a driving option, and the ball gets poked at from behind by Peoples. Murray recovers, passes it over to Jones in the right corner. Jones tries to dive inside. He loses the ball. It's picked up by Prodovsky. Prodovsky passes it in transition to Menz. Menz misses the layup. A scramble for the rebound, and they're going to give the possession to Brookline as we have Brookline's first substitution. Theo Murray comes in to replace Jamari Jones. 6-2 the score in favor of Newton South with just under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Ben Murray controlling the ball for Brookline. Slowly bringing the ball across half court. He's being covered by Menz. He passes it over to Ordonez on the left wing. He passes it up top to Theo Murray, who then passes it over to Jamari Jones on the right wing. Passes inside to Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown, who hits the jumper. 6-4 now the score in favor of Newton South. Javen Stewart takes the ball, passes it over to Peoples. Peoples crosses half court, tries to drive inside. He finds traffic, tries to dribble around, can't do it. Passes it over to Javen Stewart, who does drive around and hits the layup. Javen Stewart is proving hard to cover early on as Newton South extends its lead to 8-4. Bryce Burke bringing the ball across half court for Brookline. He starts to dribble inside, goes up for the layup, hits it. A nice drive and finish by Bryce Burke to get the layup and the foul. The foul called on number 20, Max Icardi. First foul of the game for Newton South as Bryce Burke goes to the line with his team trailing by 2 for the and 1. Burke puts up the free throw and it rolls in. 8-7, now the score. Brodowski brings the ball up for Newton South, passes over to Peoples. Peoples tries to drive in, hits traffic, kicks it out to Brodowski in the right corner. Brodowski tries to dribble inside, finds traffic. He passes a little bit inside to Menz. Menz with the give and go pass to Brodowski. Brodowski hits the layup off a nice around the back pass by Menz. And now it's 10-7 in favor of Newton South. Bryce Burke brings up the ball for Brookline. He tries to drive in again. And I'm not sure what the whistle was. It looks like they're going to call a foul on Brodowski. They're not going to call the shooting foul. They're going to call the reach-in foul as Brookline substitutes Devani Perez for Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown. Perez going in for the inbound. He inbounds to Theo Murray in the left corner, who passes it up to Ordonez on the left wing. Ordonez swings it over to the right wing to Devani Perez. Perez tries to dribble inside, hits traffic, tries again, goes for an awkward shot and misses. Rebound by Peoples, who then tries to chuck the pass down to Menz, but it's intercepted by Ben Murray. Ben Murray dribbles, throws it inside to Ordonez, who kicks it out to Devani Perez, who drives in and hits the layup. Perez off the nice passing, gets the layup, cuts the lead to 10-9. Icardi with the ball. He dribbles inside, almost gets it poked away, but recovers. He kicks it out to Peoples, who dribbles in, kicks it out to Icardi. Icardi dribbles inside, runs into traffic, tries to fight his way through with a spin move, and it looks like he drew the foul. They're going to call the foul on Devani Perez. That's his first, Brookline's third. Max Icardi goes to the line for Newton South with a 10-9 lead and 3:06 left to play in the period. Icardi goes for his first free throw. It bounces in as Brookline substitutes Jack Altman for Bryce Burke. And Jace Peoples is subbed out for Newton South in favor of their number 5. That is Ryan Haddam. Icardi hits the second free throw and extends the lead to 12-9. The ball is quickly passed up to Theo Murray on the left wing. Theo Murray drives in, goes for a fadeaway, rolls out, picked up by Javen Stewart. Stewart now dribbling in the backcourt, trying to get across half court. He does. He dribbles through a couple guys, stops, tried to fake the pass and pull up the shot, but the ref calls traveling. Second traveling call on Stewart this quarter as Brookline takes over possession. Ben Murray bringing up the ball. He passes it over to Ben Ordonez on the right wing, who then gives it back up top to Perez. Perez over to Theo Murray on his left, then to Jack Altman in the corner. Altman puts up the three. It rolls out. Unlucky rim roll for Jack Altman. Rebounded by Newton South. Icardi now bringing up the ball. Icardi tries to dribble inside, trips, safely kicks it out to Haddam. Brookline wanted to travel there, but Haddam manages to dribble inside, go for the pass. The shot attempt by Menz is blocked. I think it was Ben Murray who blocks it out of bounds. Newton South retains possession. Newton South going for the inbound. This is Icardi throwing it into Menz. Menz goes for another layup, and this time there's going to be a foul on Brookline on the attempted shot by Chris Menz. It's going to be called on Jack Altman. First foul called on Jack Altman, and Chris Menz goes to the line to shoot 2, as Brookline now has 4 fouls on the half. Menz puts up the first and hits it. 13-9 now the score as Bryce Burke comes back in, replacing Ben Ordonez. 2:18 left to go in the first period as Newton South leads Brookline 13-9. Menz puts up the free throw. He hits the second one. 14-9 now the score. Ball inbounded to Bryce Burke, who slowly brings it across half court. Burke passes it over to Jack Altman on the left wing. Altman back up top to Burke. Burke pump fakes, drives inside, kicks it out to Devani Perez in the right corner. Perez puts up the three. No good. And the loose ball bounces out of bounds. It'll be Newton South ball as Jamari Jones subs in for Theo Murray. Brookline not having the same luck on the outside that they had 2 days ago against Natick, and it's proving costly early in this game as Newton South leads 14-9. Brodowski bringing the ball across half court for Newton South. He tries to pass it over to Icardi, deflected, but Icardi recovers. He dribbles in, kicks out to Haddam. Haddam puts up a three, no good. Rebounded by Bryce Burke. Burke brings it across half court by himself. Looking for an option. He tries inside, swings it over to Altman. Altman dribbles inside, goes for the layup. Some contact, but no foul call, and Altman misses. Rebounded by Stewart. Stewart dribbles quickly across the court, but rushes things a bit. He was looking to pass to Icardi, but Icardi wasn't ready for it, and it flies out of bounds. So now number 10, Demetrius Huff, comes into the game for Newton South. As Brookline takes over possession on another turnover, Ben Murray with the ball. Quickly tries to dribble inside. Goes for the layup, but it's blocked by Menz, I believe. So a bit of revenge for Chris Menz, blocking Ben Murray after he earlier blocked Menz himself. We have a substitution for Brookline. Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown checking back in, replacing Devani Perez. Altman will be inbounding the ball for Brookline. Altman looking for his option. Nobody breaking open. He tries to force it. He gets it out to Ben Murray. Ben Murray tries to force his way through a couple defenders. Loses the ball. It rolls out of bounds, but it goes back to Brookline. 1:23 left in this first period. 14-9, still the score in favor of Newton South. Dahlstedt-Brown looking for the inbound. He floats it up back to Murray. Murray standing on the left wing, looking for a passing option. Dribbles for a second, then kicks it up top to Jack Altman, who throws it over to Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown in the corner. Dahlstedt-Brown tries to drive in, goes up for the layup, and I think they're going to call a foul on Max Icardi. I was wrong. They call it on Haddam. They call it on Ryan Haddam. We're going to say that's his second foul of the game, third foul of the half for Newton South. Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown at the line, and he misses the first free throw. Jace Peoples checks back in, replacing Haddam. Dahlstedt-Brown getting ready for his second free throw. 1:12 to go in this quarter. Brookline trails 14-9 against Newton South. Dahlstedt-Brown hits his second free throw. Score now 14-10. Buzzer sounded for a second as if there was going to be a sub, but nothing doing. Max Icardi brings it across half court, passes it over to Peoples. Peoples dribbles around, almost slips, but he kicks it over to Menz in the right corner, who passes inside to Huff, but Huff loses control of the ball. It's picked up by Ben Murray. He passes to Altman in transition. Altman going for the layup, and it's stuffed. I believe it was Chris Menz on the block once again. He stuffs Altman on the layup attempt, but the ball goes out of bounds, and they give the ball to Brookline. Altman subs out in favor of Alex Socorro, his first time seeing the court for Brookline. Dahlstedt-Brown looking for the inbound option, not finding too many openings, but then he finds Bryce Burke on the outside. Burke pump fakes, drives in from the right wing, puts up a floater, front rims it, no good. Rebound by Icardi. Icardi loses control of the ball, but it's picked up by Peoples, who then takes it across half court. 40 seconds to go, and Peoples gets trapped. And Newton South calls a timeout as Bryce Burke and Ben Murray trapped him in the corner. Good defensive help by Brookline there. 36.9 seconds left in this first period. Newton South leads 14-10. The Brookline crowd making a travel chant there, as I guess they were hoping for a call, but Newton South responds with the scoreboard chant. The classic chant that any student section will give whenever their team is in the lead. 14-10 the score. Newton South struggling with some turnovers early on, but Brookline struggling to hit their shots. Both teams a little slow out of the gate, but ultimately it's coming down in favor of Newton South, as they've been dominating the inside, able to get around their defenders. Brookline's going to stay in this game. They're going to have to do a little bit better on their one-on-one defense. As the buzzer sounds to end the Newton South timeout, following a good defensive play by Bryce Burke and Ben Murray to trap Jace Peoples in the corner. Peoples will now be giving the inbound for Newton South. Peoples looking for the inbound. He throws it into Icardi. Icardi with the ball. Looking around, and he hands it off to Peoples behind his back. Peoples also looking for one. He spins around Burke, goes inside, but he's blocked by Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown. But then after Dahlstedt-Brown recovers, it's taken away from him by Javen Stewart. And it looks like they're going to call the foul on Alex Socorro, who I guess got in late and pushed Stewart. 5 fouls for Brookline, first foul for Socorro. Brodowski looking for the inbound for Newton South now. He can't find one, and he calls timeout. So Newton South with 2 quick timeouts off some nice defense by Brookline. But wait, they're saying he didn't call the timeout in time. That's going to be a 5-second violation on Newton South. And now Ben Murray brings up the ball for Brookline. Less than 20 seconds left in the quarter. Murray passes it over to Burke on the wing, who then passes it up top to Jones. Over to the opposite wing to Allstep Brown, who passes it inside to Socorro. Socorro tries to force the layup. No good, gets his own rebound. Tries to go up for another layup, misses, but draws the foul this time. Alex Socorro refusing to give up on that play, and he now heads to the line after drawing a foul. That's going to be Chris Menz' first foul of the game. 4th for Newton South. 6.4 seconds on the clock, and Socorro will be going to the line for 2. Socorro with his first free throw, and it rolls out. And the bad rim luck continues for Brookline as Miles Avalon and Daniel Dalzell check into the game for Brookline, replacing Jamari Jones and Ben Murray. And an additional substitution, Andrew Mitchell coming in to replace Bryce Burke. So Brookline with 3 quick substitutions here in the final seconds of this quarter, as Alex Socorro, another player who came off the bench earlier this period, will be going to the line for 2. Socorro puts up his second free throw. He misses as well. A battle for the boards. A scramble picked up by Socorro. He tries to put up a desperation shot, but didn't have the angle. And a last-second heave by Newton South after the miss is no good. And the first quarter ends with Newton South leading Brookline 14-10. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Schlunt's Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. I'll be back with my broadcast of the second quarter after a quick break. Hello and welcome back to Schlunt's Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, where Brookline has opened the second quarter of play against Newton South with a 3-pointer by Bryce Burke, cutting the lead to 14-13. Newton South tried to drive in for a layup by Chris Menz. Ben Murray with some nice defense, and ultimately the loose ball after the miss goes out of bounds. Brookline gets the ball back. 14-13 the score in favor of Newton South against Brookline. Ben Murray driving in for Brookline. He goes for the layup. No good. Too well defended. Rebounded by Javen Stewart for Newton South. He passes it over to Brodowski in transition. And Brodowski's layup is blocked by Jamari Jones. Loose ball picked up by Bryce Burke, who dribbles in transition, gives it to Ben Murray. Ben Murray goes for the layup and hits it! Some good defense by Brookline early on, and they now lead Newton South 15-14. Brodowski passes to Javen Stewart in the right corner. Stewart looking to dribble around. He puts up the fadeaway, and it rolls out. Rebound by Lucio Dahlstedt Brown, who gives it over to Ben Murray, who gives it back to Dahlstedt Brown. Dahlstedt Brown brings it across half court, starts to drive inside, gives it out to Ben Murray on the right wing. Murray for 3, no good. Rebound collected by Sam Brodowski, who passes it up to Max Icardi. Icardi drives and hits the layup easily. Ben Murray was looking for some help from Bryce Burke on the defense there, but didn't get it. 16-15 now the Newton South lead. Bryce Burke controlling the ball at the top. He passes it over to Ben Ordonez in the left corner. Ordonez dribbles inside, kicks it out to Ben Murray on the right wing. Murray goes for another 3, and he hits it this time. A nice 3-point shot by Ben Murray off a nice pass. And now Newton South with the ball. Brodowski has it. He drives inside, looks for another layup, hits this one. A little physical, but no foul call. And the score is tied up at 18 with 6 minutes to go. Bryce Burke brings the ball for Brookline. He starts to drive inside, hits traffic, and the ball gets blocked. They're saying it bounced off of Burke last, and it'll go to Newton South. We have a couple substitutions now on the floor. Abram Richardson seeing the floor for the first time for Brookline as he subs in for Ben Ordonez. Jace Peoples and Ryan Haddam coming in for Newton South. Sam Brodowski brings up the ball for Newton South. He drives inside and gets hacked by Richardson. Abram Richardson comes in, is put on Brodowski, gets beat on the dribble around, and hacks Brodowski on the shot. So that'll be Richardson's first foul, and Brookline's 6th this half as Brodowski goes to the line for 2 in this 18-18 game. Brodowski's first free throw is good. Newton South retakes the lead at 19-18. Brodowski puts up the second free throw and hits the second one. 20-18, now the score in favor of Newton South. Bryce Burke bringing up the ball for Brookline. He swings it over to Ben Murray. Starts to dribble inside. A sneaky pass into Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown down in the paint. And Dahlstedt-Brown with the reverse layup to tie the game at 20. Jace Peoples now with the ball for Newton South. He swings it over to Brodowski in the wing. He swings it over to Haddam. He starts to dribble inside, then floats it over to Brodowski, who then sends it back up top to Icardi. Icardi for the three, and he banks it in. 23-20. Now the score in favor of Newton South. Ben Murray trying to drive in. He hits traffic, keeps going, goes for the shot. No good, but it looks like he drew a foul. And that foul is on Sam Brodowski, his second, the fifth for Newton South. And Ben Murray goes to the free throw line, which has been a bit of a problem area for Brookline early in this game. Murray goes for his first free throw and hits it. And Miles Avalon checks into the game for Brookline, replacing Jamari Jones. Meanwhile, for Newton South checking into the game, a couple of substitutions as Ben Murray gets ready for his second free throw with his team trailing 23-21. Murray puts up the second free throw, front rims it, no good. Richardson battled for the board but couldn't corral it. It's corralled by Javen Stewart. Stewart bringing up the ball for Newton South, I should say. Stewart passes it over to Menz. Menz dribbles inside, kicks it out to Haddam in the corner. Haddam kicks it out to Jace Peoples, who puts up the three, back rims it, no good. Haddam tried to tip the rebound, but he tipped it to Ben Murray. Ben Murray dribbling through traffic, and he loses track of the ball, but he dives and recovers it. Floats it over to Richardson, who passes it over to Avalon. Avalon almost lost track of it. Pump fake the pass, dribble inside. And Miles Avalon with the layup to tie the game at 23. Ryan Haddam now with the ball in the wing for Newton South. He passes it up top to Icardi. Over to Stewart on the left wing. He puts up the three and hits it. 26-23, now the lead in favor of Newton South with 4:20 left to go in the half. Ben Murray with the ball for Brookline. Passes it over to Dahlstedt-Brown on the wing. Dahlstedt-Brown dribbles a little, pulls up for a long two, but misses. The rebound is poked away by Miles Avalon, but it's saved by Newton South and goes to Ryan Haddam, who dribbles the ball across half court, gives it to Icardi, who then passes it to Javen Stewart, who goes for the shot after a bit of a push off, but misses anyway, and it's rebounded by Richardson, who then gives it to Bryce Burke. Burke brings it across half court, gives it over to Murray. Murray starts to drive inside, pulls up around the top of the key, and he hits the jumper. 26-25 now the score. Icardi brings it across half court, passes over to Haddam in the corner. Haddam looking for a passing option. He swings it over to Icardi on the right wing, who then gives it over to Peoples. Peoples trying to drive inside, can't. He hits traffic. He then dishes it out to Javen Stewart. Stewart with the ball, he's trying to drive inside. And they're going to call a travel on Stewart. He was dribbling up against Miles Avalon. Avalon poking in at the ball, and he prevented Stewart from getting a clean dribble. Now we have another substitution for Newton South. That is number 12, Itai Alinsky, checking back in for Haddam. 26-25 still the score. Ben Murray bringing up the ball for Brookline. Murray pulls up from three. Rolls out, no good. Rebound by Chris Menz. Menz now running in transition, looking for an opening. He goes for the layup and hits it over Murray's outstretched arm. 28-25, now the lead in favor of Newton South. Murray passes it up to Bryce Burke, who brings it across half court. Starts to dribble inside, then passes over to Miles Avalon. Avalon tries to drive in, loses track of the ball, and it's picked up by Javen Stewart. Stewart brings the ball up. He drives inside, goes for a fading shot, misses, airballs it, rebound Richardson, pass to Burke, pass up to Avalon. Avalon running the floor, he goes for the layup. Miles Avalon hits the layup with Icardi right in his face. 28-27 the score. Now Icardi pulling up, his foot might have been on the three-point line, and they're going to say it was. He hits the two-pointer, and it's 30-27. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Bryce Burke brings it up for Brookline as they trail 30-27 against Newton South. Burke pulls up from way back, and he hits it! What a long three-pointer by Bryce Burke to tie the game at 30. 2:15 to go. Newton South with the ball. Peoples gets it on the wing. He drives inside, kicks it out to Chris Menz at the top. Chris Menz drives in, goes for an awkward layup, no good. Rebound controlled by Richardson, but Alinsky reached in and got a hand on it, and we got a jump ball. Possession arrow to Newton South. We got a mass substitution for Brookline. It's Alex Socorro, Theo Murray, and Devani Perez check into the game, replacing Abram Richardson, Miles Avalon, and Lucio Dahlstedt Brown. Newton South inbounds, but it's floated a little over Chris Menz, but he recovers. He gives it over to Sam Prodovsky. Prodovsky trying to dribble, can't find anything. He passes it up top to Menz. Menz drives inside. A sneaky pass over to Alinsky, and Itai Alinsky with the bucket. 32-30, now the Newton South lead. Devani Perez brings it across half court for Brookline. Perez swings it over to Ben Murray on the wing. Ben Murray starting to dribble inside. He kicks it out to Bryce Burke. Burke with another three-shot. He misses it off the rim. And in the loose ball rebound, they're going to say that it went off of Icardi. A battle between Icardi and Socorro for the rebound, and they're saying it went off Icardi. So Brookline will retain possession with 1:32 remaining in the half. Ball is inbound to Socorro, who then gives it up top to Burke. Burke swings it over to Devani Perez. Perez holding the ball, he dribbles, tries to throw a pass, but it's intercepted by Alinsky. But then Alinsky is robbed by Theo Murray. Murray goes for an awkward layup, misses, just rolls out off an awkward layup by Murray, but he drew the foul. Heads up defensive play by Theo Murray. Second foul of the game for Max Icardi, as Newton South now has 16 fouls in the half as well. Theo Murray at the line, shooting two. He puts up the first, and it bounces out. More Brad Rimlock at the free throw line for Brookline, as they still trail 32-30. Theo Murray going for his second free throw, and hits it. Cuts the lead to one with 1:18 left to play in the half. Max Icardi bringing up the ball for Newton South. He comes across half court, passes it over to Menz on the left wing. Chris Menz drives inside, a sneaky pass to Jace Peoples. Peoples tries to drive inside, hits traffic, kicks it out to Icardi. Icardi hits another long two with his foot on the line. 34-31 now the score. Perez bringing up the ball for Brookline. Looking around, he puts it over to Bryce Burke on the left wing. Burke holding the ball, he pump fakes, then he swings it over to Theo Murray on the right wing. Murray drives inside, stops, turns around, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound by Chris Menz. Menz bringing up the ball with 40 seconds to go. Menz driving in. Goes for the shot, no good, but it's collected by Itai Alinsky. And Alinsky puts it in to make it 36-31. Less than 30 seconds left as Perez brings it up for Brookline. Perez holding on the left wing. He passes up top to Bryce Burke. Burke looking for a passing option. He gets a signal from the coach. It looks like they're going to go for the last shot of the half. 15 seconds left as Burke is just dribbling around. Burke looking for an opening. He tries to pass it. It's knocked away by Prodovsky. Burke recovers. He dribbles in, passes over to Ordonez. Ordonez drives in, goes for a floater. No good, but it's tipped back in. Alex Socorro with the tip in, and they're going to say that went in just before the buzzer. So a buzzer-beating tip in by Alex Socorro off the missed floater by Ben Ordonez. And the first half ends with Newton South leading Brookline 36-33. Thank you for listening to the first half broadcast. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Schlunt's Gym. I will be right back once the second half begins. Hello and welcome back to Schlunt's Gym on the campus of Brookline High School in Brookline, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and after one half of play, the Brookline High Warriors trail the Newton South Lions 36-33. Very high scoring second period after a relatively slow first period. Just 23 collective points scored between both teams in the first period, as Newton South took a 14-9 lead, 14-10 lead, I should say, 24 collective points. But then the two teams combined for over 40 points total in the second period to bring the score to where it is now. So a much faster second period as both teams start to get their legs under them offensively. Leading the way for Brookline on offense, we have about 9 points from Bryce Burke, including 2 3-pointers in the second quarter. We have 8 points from Ben Murray coming in behind him. 5 points from Lucio Dahlstedt Brown, 4 from Miles Avalon, 2 from Devani Perez, 1 from Theo Murray, and that rounds out and 2 from Alex Socorro off the last second tip in to finish the half. So that was Brookline's scoring line. Switching it over to Newton South, Max Icardi leading the way with 14 first half points, including 2 3-pointers and a total of 9 second quarter points. Falling behind him, there are 7 points each from Sam Prodovsky and Javen Stewart. Stewart with the only other 3-pointer from Newton South, besides Icardi's 2. And Icardi may have been able to put up more 3-pointers, but a couple of shots he had his foot on the 3-point line and they went for long 2s. Prodovsky 3 for 4 at the free throw line for Newton South, while Icardi was 2 for 2. And the other 2 for 2 player at the free throw line was Chris Menz, who finishes the first half with 4 points. And then Itai Alinsky, with a couple of second quarter buckets, finished with 4 points as well. So a tight game so far, and the key for Brookline has been missed shots, particularly at the free throw line. They lost about 5 potential points in the first half to missed free throws, and, well, proof shows on the scoreboard. If those 5 points were made, they could be leading by 2 instead of trailing by 3. We got about a little over 30 seconds left in the break clock before we start this second half. Newton South comes back out with their same starting lineup, featuring Javen Stewart, Chris Menz, Max Icardi, Sam Prodovsky, and Itai Alinsky. Brookline sending out their original starting lineup of Ben Murray, Ben Ordonez, Bryce Burke, Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown, and Jamari Jones. Brookline will get the possession to start the second half. Dahlstedt-Brown inbounds to Ben Murray. Murray bringing the ball up, he passes over to Ordonez on the right wing. Ben Ordonez holding the ball. He hands it off to Jamari Jones. Jones hits some traffic along the 3-point line. Tries to drive in, kicks it out to Ordonez in the right corner. Ordonez drives in, goes for a pass, but it's deflected out of bounds by Javen Stewart. Ordonez was looking for Dahlstedt-Brown in the corner for a potential 3-pointer. Dahlstedt-Brown instead inbounds to Bryce Burke. Burke driving inside. He goes for a floater. No good. He whiffs on the offensive rebound and it's picked up by Stewart. Javen Stewart bringing the ball across for Newton South. He passes over to Prodovsky on the wing. Prodovsky trying to dribble inside. Hits traffic. Kicks it out to Chris Menz at the top. Menz kicks it out to Icardi. Icardi dribbles to his right. Hits traffic. Passes to Javen Stewart. Stewart drives in. Misses the floater, but draws a foul. So we have our first foul of the second half. That'll be Ben Ordonez, his first foul of the game. The first foul of the half for either team after neither team went into the bonus in the first half. Javen Stewart here at the line for Newton South, and he misses his first free throw as it bounces off the rim. Stewart going for his second free throw, and he hits it for the first point of the half. 37-33 now the score. Ben Murray bringing up the ball for Brookline. He gives it out to Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown. Dahlstedt-Brown dribbles inside, goes for a jumper, and he hits it. 37-35 now the score. Newton South running fast. A quick pass to Chris Menz from Icardi. Dahlstedt-Brown tried to poke it free, but Menz recovered and put in the layup. 39-35 now the score. Burke passes it over to Ben Murray on the right wing. Murray for 3. No good. Rebound in Javen Stewart. Stewart dribbling across half court fast. Couple of times trying to go in, hit traffic, kicks it out to Prodovsky. Prodovsky swings it over to Menz. Menz dribbles in, kicks it out to Prodovsky. Prodovsky back over to Menz on the outside. Menz dribbling against Burke. Menz kicks it out to Alinsky. Alinsky tries to dribble inside. He fades, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound by Murray. Murray floats it up to Dahlstedt-Brown. Dahlstedt-Brown catches and goes for the layup. A nice pass from Murray to Dahlstedt-Brown. Heads up play in transition makes it 39-37. Chris Menz now holding the ball for Newton South. He passes over to Prodovsky, then over to Icardi. Icardi dribbling around the left corner. He goes for the layup. And I think they're going to count that basket. They are, and they're going to call the foul.
Fouls on Ben Murray, his first, team second.
That's going to be Ben Murray's first foul of the game. Second foul of the half for Brookline. Newton South now leads 41-37 after a nice layup by Max Icardi. He goes for the and one. It rolls out, rebounded by Jones. Jones passes over to Murray, who then swings it over to Bryce Burke across half court. Burke drives in by himself, hits traffic and misses the lay-in. Rebound Prodovsky. Prodovsky tried to throw a pass over to Stewart in transition, but it's kicked out of bounds by Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown. So Newton South retains possession. Icardi looking for the inbound. He gives it to Prodovsky. Prodovsky dribbling around. Hits traffic. He swings it over to Javen Stewart on the right wing. Stewart goes for three. No good. Rebound Ordonez. We have, it looks like we have an injured player down on the floor. And I think that's Itai Alinsky. No, it's not Itai Alinsky. Oh, I think that's Max Icardi. That's Max Icardi down on the floor for Newton South. He has been a scoring machine for Newton South so far. 14 points in that first quarter. It could have potentially been 16 if they counted 2 of his 3-pointers, but his foot was on the line. But now Icardi laying down on the floor, being looked at by coaches and trainers as both teams settle down for a short break. As we certainly hope Icardi's okay. He gets pulled up, walks off on his own power. So a round of applause from the crowd. Landed kind of hard on that play. I wasn't entirely sure what happened. It was away from the ball. But we certainly hope that Max Icardi is all right. So the ball will go to Brookline as they were holding onto the ball when the play was whistled dead. Bryce Burke will bring it up for Brookline as they trail Newton South 41-37. Burke hands it off to Jamari Jones. Jones drives in, kicks it out to Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown. Dahlstedt-Brown misses the three. Rebound Ordonez. Ordonez gets stuffed. It's rebounded by Javen Stewart. It's then poked away by Murray, who, in a weird sequence of handoffs, it gets to Ordonez, who then passes over to Dahlstedt-Brown. Dahlstedt-Brown tries to drive, and it looks like he drew a foul. Some heads-up plays on the rebound there by Ordonez and Murray and Jones as well after some quick, clumsy handoffs. Dahlstedt-Brown inbounds to Ordonez. Ordonez out to Ben Murray. Ben Murray drives inside. He gets blocked by Itai Alinsky. Alinsky then passes it over to Prodovsky, who passes it ahead to Menz. Menz kicks it over to Jace Peoples in the corner. Peoples falls down, tries to throw away the pass, and it looks like they're going to call a loose ball foul. And they're going to call the loose ball foul on Menz. So Peoples fell over after running into Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown on an attempted drive. He tried to get the ball away to Menz, but he couldn't get it cleanly. Ordonez chased down the ball, and Menz called for a push. Second foul of the game for Menz, second foul of the half for Newton South, and Brookline gets the ball, as well as some substitution. Devani Perez and Miles Avalon check in for Brookline, as number 10, Demetrius Huff, checks in for Newton South. Burke brings up the ball. He gives it over to Dahlstedt-Brown. Dahlstedt-Brown starts to dribble inside. He goes for a floater. He hits it. 41-39. Now the score still in favor of Newton South. Sam Prodovsky bringing up the ball. He's dribbling around. He goes for the drive. He's blocked from behind by Devani Perez. But it looks like they're going to call an out of bounds. Dahlstedt-Brown looked like he picked up the loose ball, but his foot was out of bounds. So they're going to give the ball back to Newton South. Prodovsky on the inbound. He passes it out to Chris Menz. Menz trying to dribble around the corner. An awkward layup, missed. Rebound Huff. Huff goes for the layup. Nothing doing but a foul. Demetrius Huff will go to the line shortly after checking into the game.
His second, team third. Demetrius Huff is at the line shooting 2.
That foul is called on Lucio Dahlstedt-Brown, his second of the game, third of the half for Brookline. And Huff misses his first free throw. And And now Abram Richardson will check in for Lucio Dahlstedt Brown. And Newton South, number 13, Philip Roberts, checks in, replacing Alinsky. Huff going for the second free throw. 4:35 on the clock in the third quarter. Huff hits the second free throw, and it's now 42-39, Newton South. Ben Murray brings the ball across half court. Passes it inside to Avalon. Avalon goes for an awkward shot as he was well blocked, but he managed to draw the foul. So some nice maneuvering on a shot that had almost no chance by Miles Avalon with how well defended it was. But he manages to draw contact from Demetrius Huff. That's Huff's first foul, third foul of the half for Newton South. Miles Avalon going to the line. First free throw bounces out. Free throws still killing Brookline as Ryan Haddam checks in, replacing Demetrius Huff for Newton South. Avalon goes for his second free throw and misses that one as well. And Javen Stewart with the rebound. He brings it across half court, passes to Haddam, but then passes over to Protagovsky, who gives it over to Roberts, who then gives it to Menz, back to Roberts. Roberts drives in, and layup for Philip Roberts. 44-39, now the score in favor of the Lions. Bryce Burke dribbling across fast for Brookline. He tries to go in by himself, hits traffic, but draws the foul. And that's going to be against Javen Stewart. First foul of the game for Stewart. Fourth foul of the half for Newton South. And Bryce Burke will go to the line for 2 shots. Bryce Burke hits his first free throw. Free throws have been a serious problem for Brookline so far this game. They've cost them about 7 points off missed free throws so far. Burke going for his second free throw. And he hits the second one. 44-41. Ryan Haddam bringing up the ball for Newton South. He gives it over to Protagovsky. Protagovsky dribbling around, looking for the option. He spins around, tries to go inside. He slips. And they're going to say he dribbled off his own foot and out of bounds. Well defended by Devani Perez. And we got a substitution for Brookline as Theo Murray checks in for Abram Richardson. And Max Icardi comes back into the game for Newton South, replacing Philip Roberts. So Icardi comes back in after a hard foul, took him out earlier in the game. Good to see him back, good to see he's not hurt. Bryce Burke bringing up the ball for Brookline. Burke starts to dribble, he goes inside, pulls up from the top of the key, no good. Loose ball, and it's knocked out of bounds. I think it was Perez who knocked it out. Theo Murray was also battling for the board against, I think, Chris Menz. Icardi inbounds to Protagovsky, who then gives it back to Icardi. Icardi brings it across half court, passes it over to Chris Menz. Menz dribbling in from the right side. He goes for the layup and hits it. Beat his defender, Theo Murray, to make it 46-41. A sneaky floater pass by Ben Murray to Devani Perez. Perez misses the layup, and it looks like we're going to get another foul call on Newton South. So a long pass from Ben Murray to Devani Perez, who is streaking for the baskets. Perez caught it, went for the layup. No good, but he draws Max Icardi's third foul of the game and Newton South's fifth foul of the half. And Perez will be shooting 2. Perez puts up his first. And again it rolls out. Substitutions for Brookline. Shamari Jones, Lucio Dahlstedt Brown, and Ben Ordonez checking in. Well, actually, Ordonez not coming in yet as Theo Murray and Miles Avalon check out. Perez going for his second free throw, and he misses them both. Third time Brookline has missed both free throws, and they still trail. And Javen Stewart gets the pass from Ryan Haddam in transition, and Stewart drives to the hoop for a layup. We got a timeout by Brookline with 3:08 left in the period. 48-41 the lead in favor of Newton South. The Lions have led for most of the game, and the Warriors seem to be giving up this game at the free throw line. 3 different sequences where they missed both free throws. That automatically cost them 6 points. A couple more where they went 1 of 2, costing them a couple more. Add it all up, and Brookline could be ahead in this game if they were shooting better at the line. And Newton South fouling a lot faster than they did in the first half. It's possible that they're just not scared of Brookline at the free throw line at this stage. And now we've got the Brookline and Newton South student sections basically competing across from each other with chance. One thing you gotta love about these regional rivalry games, it is the student sections going at each other. Bryce Burke inbounds to Ben Murray following the timeout. Just over 3 minutes to play. Murray gives it over to Ordonez on the right wing. Ordonez drives in, goes for a lay-in, and hits it. First points of the game for Ben Ordonez here in the third quarter. 48-43 now the score in favor of Newton South. Icardi and Prodovsky pass back and forth to bring it across half court. Still passing back and forth. Now passed from Icardi over to Chris Menz. He misses the 3 from the corner. It's rebounded by Brookline. They pass it ahead. Ordonez loses control, but the loose ball bounces off Prodovsky and out of bounds. So Brookline a little lucky there. That could have been a sloppy turnover by Ben Ordonez. Philip Roberts checks in for Newton South, replacing Ryan Haddam. Dahlstedt Brown inbounds to Ben Murray. Murray driving inside. One-on-one situation, he goes to the layup, can't make it, but it's rebounded by Ben Ordonez. He dribbles around, kicks it out to Bryce Burke, over to Dahlstedt Brown, then over to Jamari Jones. It's lost out of bounds again, and this time it bounced off Jones. So this time Brookline will lose the ball. Chris Menz inbounds to Icardi after defending on that play. Icardi slowly bringing it across half court. Icardi passes over to Chris Menz on the wing. Menz back up top to Prodovsky. Prodovsky dribbles around, then finds Chris Menz on his right again. Menz starts to dribble inside. A sneaky around the back pass to Prodovsky, and Prodovsky floats it in. 50-43, now the score in favor of Newton South. Less than 2 minutes to play in the third, as Newton South starting to pull away. Burke gives it inside to Dahlstedt Brown. A running floater. And Dahlstedt Brown banks it in and draws the foul. That foul will be on Sam Prodovsky. That's 3 fouls for Prodovsky and 6 for Newton South. And Miles Avalon checks in for Brookline, replacing Jamari Jones. Dahlstedt Brown to the line for the and 1. Avalon, the only other player set for the potential offensive rebound for Brookline, against 4 players for Newton South. Dahlstedt Brown puts his free throw, he hits it. 50-46 now the score after the 3-point play by Dahlstedt Brown. Max Icardi brings up the ball for Newton South. Looks for a pass, hits Prodovsky, who then gives it over to Menz, who then gives it back up top to Stewart. Stewart starting to drive in, and he puts up the shot after causing Avalon to fall, misses, a loose ball, and the rebound picked up by Ordonez. Ordonez now running, gives it over to Dahlstedt Brown, back up top to Burke. Burke swings it over to Murray. Murray pump fakes, drives in, and gets a reach foul. That's going to be a foul on Chris Menz. And that'll be the third foul for Chris Menz, 7th of the half. Now in the bonus, Brookline gets to shoot a 1-and-1. This will be Ben Murray at the line with his team trailing by 4 and 1:25 left in the period. Murray goes up for the first of the 1-and-1 and nothing but net. 50-47 now the score as we have a substitution. And Itai Olinsky checks in, replacing Philip Roberts for Newton South, as Ben Murray now goes for his earned second free throw of the 1-and-1. He puts it up, and nothing but net again. Ben Murray automatic from the free throw line. And a 50-48 score now in favor of Newton South. Brookline starting to press. Icardi and Prodovsky trying to get it across half court. And the aggressive defense does not pay off for Brookline as a pass ahead to Stewart. Stewart goes for the lay-in. No good. Rebounded by Avalon. Stewart was battling on the rebound. It looks like they're going to call a foul on Stewart. for getting too physical with Avalon on the free throw. Second foul of the game for Stewart, 8 for Newton South. And now Avalon gets to go all the way to the other side for a 1-and-1. 1:10 to play in the period. 50-48 the score. Avalon with a 1-and-1 and a chance to tie. Bryce Burke and Ben Murray go into the blocks. Set up for the free throw. Miles Avalon sets up, puts up the free throw, and it's good. We are now at a 1-point game, and Miles Avalon at the line for his second shot of the 1-on-1 and a chance to tie. 1:10 left in the period. Newton South leads Brookline 50-49. Miles Avalon lining up for his second free throw. He puts it up, and it's good. We have a tie ball game. 50-50 the score. As once again, Newton South trying to break the press. Icardi and Brodowski passing it back and forth. They're almost across half court. A floater pass gets over to Stewart in the corner. Stewart goes for three, and he hits it. Big response by Javen Stewart. 53-50. Brookline brings it up fast. Pass over to Dulstep Brown, then back out to Ben Murray. Murray swings it over to Bryce Burke. Burke gives it over to Dulstep Brown. Dulstep Brown pump fakes, dribbles around. He starts to drive in, goes for another floater, and hits it! Lucia Dulstep Brown with the floater to make it 53-52, and then Itai Olinsky steps a foot inbounds before he could inbound the ball. And Newton South turns it over. Jace Peoples checks in, replacing Olinsky after the sloppy turnover on the inbound. Brought about by Brookline's press, and now Dulstep Brown inbounding in this 1-point game. He gives it out to Ben Ordonez on the outside, back up top to Murray. Ben Murray now starting to drive in. He goes for the lay-in, rim roll, it's in! 54-53 now the score. Newton South once again trying to break the press. Back and forth between Brodowski and Icardi. Brodowski dribbles in, he kicks it out to Stewart in the corner. He front rims the three-pointer. Rebound by Ben Murray. Murray bringing it across in transition. The ball gets poked from behind, off the backboard, grabbed by Murray, layup! Ben Murray with a layup after the ball was poked out of his hands from behind, and another loose ball. Picked up by Dulstep Brown. He couldn't heave it in time, but Brookline High goes into the fourth quarter with a 56-53 lead. How do I even describe that last bucket? Ben Murray dribbling in transition. The ball is poked out from behind him by Javen Stewart, but the flying loose ball bounces off of the backboard, is picked up by Murray, who then hits a heads-up lay-in for the final bucket of the quarter. Brookline finally on top as we head for the final quarter of play, 56-53. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'll be back with the fourth quarter. Hello and welcome back to Schluntz Gym on the campus of Brookline High School, where the Brookline Warriors lead the Newton South Lions 56-53 as we start the fourth quarter. Newton South will get the inbound. Chris Menz will be throwing the ball in. Menz gives it over to Brodowski. Brodowski takes it slowly across half court. Brodowski looking for an opening. He swings it over to Max Icardi on the left wing. Icardi gives it to Javen Stewart in the left corner. Stewart trying to find an opening, can't find it. He kicks it out to Menz on the outside. Menz goes for three. No good. Rebound by Miles Avalon. Avalon gives it over to Murray to bring the ball up for Brookline. Ben Murray driving on his own, goes for the layup, hits it. Fast drive to the basket by Ben Murray, and he hits the layup to make it 58-53 in favor of Brookline. Max Icardi brings the ball across half court for Newton South. Icardi gives it over to Menz. Menz starting to drive inside. He goes for the shot. They say the shot does not count, but the foul does. That's going to be against Bryce Burke. Brookline, of course, not in the bonus. Newton South in the bonus with 8 fouls. Brookline just committed their fourth foul of the half. First by Bryce Burke, and the bonus proved costly late in that quarter for Newton South. Can't be costly for Brookline just yet. Icardi floats an inbound out back to Chris Menz. Menz holding on the left wing. Dribbles to the center, hands it off to Sam Brodowski. Sam Brodowski dribbling up top, dribbles to his left, floats it over to Icardi. Icardi dribbling around to the left, blocked by Avalon! Picked up by Ben Murray. Ben Murray running the floor. He kicks it out to Bryce Burke. Bryce Burke sends it up top to Lucio Dulstep Brown. Dulstep Brown hits the three! Huge three-pointer! And Dulstep Brown gets taken out in the chest bump by Bryce Burke, and Ben Murray, after hitting a huge three-pointer from the top, off a pass from Bryce Burke after Miles Avalon, who hit the game-tying free throws in the last quarter, comes through with a huge block of Max Icardi. Timeout called by Newton South as Brookline now leads 61-53 with 6:54 left to play in this game. Brookline finding their momentum at exactly the right time. They trailed for almost the entirety of this game, finally get a lead right at the end of the third, and they are keeping that momentum going here early in the fourth. 5-0 the run so far for Brookline as we start this fourth quarter with a couple of heads-up plays, a nice swift drive to the basket for a layup by Ben Murray, and then a block by Miles Avalon that led to some nice passing around the edge, finishing with a three-pointer up top by Lucio Dahlstedt Brown. 61-53 now the score. We come out of the timeout. Newton South getting ready for the inbound. Brookline bringing the press. The inbound to Sampradovsky, who gives it back to Max Icardi, and the press backs off. Icardi slowly brings it across half court. Icardi passes it up top to Chris Menz. Over to Javen Stewart on the right wing. Stewart pulls up, goes for the shot, rolls out. Grabbed by Ben Murray on the rebound. Murray comes across half court, gives it over to Burke. Burke to Dahlstedt Brown in the corner. Dahlstedt Brown dribbling against his opponent. He passes to Miles Avalon. Avalon's open. Goes for the jumper from the top of the key, but no good. Rebound by Stewart. Stewart brings up the ball for Newton South. 6:20 to go in this game. Stewart gives it over to Pradovsky in the left corner. Pradovsky trying to dribble around Ben Murray. He can't. He passes it up top to Stewart. Stewart trying to drive in. And he draws the foul from Avalon. Avalon doing a pretty effective job of covering in Javen Stewart, one of the faster players and more athletic players on Newton South's roster, and Avalon has been doing well containing him, but he commits his first foul and Brookline's fifth. Inbound, Icardi gives it to number 22, who goes for the shot, blocked by Lucio Dahlstedt Brown, who then gives it ahead to Ordonez. Gives it ahead to Avalon. Avalon on the run, goes for the layup, no good. Rebound. Avalon gets his own rebound after the loose ball, and this time he draws the foul. Number 22 of Newton South, Sean David Enalama, was stuffed by Lucio Dahlstedt Brown. And after a couple of shot attempts and some loose balls, Miles Avalon is fouled by Stewart. That's Stewart's third foul of the game. 9 fouls of the half for Newton South. Brookline almost gets to shoot the double bonus. Avalon goes for his first free throw. No good, but it's a shooting foul this time, so he gets 2 chances. 61-53 is still the score in favor of Brookline. 5:57 left to go in this game. Avalon puts up his second free throw and hits this one. 62-53, now the score in favor of Brookline. Brookline bringing the press. Pradovsky holding it. He floats it up aggressively over to Enalama. Enalama passes it back to Icardi. Icardi over to Chris Menz in the corner. Menz for 3, no good. Rebound by Enalama, but it's poked away by Burke. And in the ensuing chaos, Burke picks it up. And they're going to say it's a jump ball. Timeout not called in time by Brookline. But the possession arrow is in Brookline's direction. Ryan Haddam checks into the game, replacing Enalama. And now Newton looking like they're getting ready to press. Dahlstedt Brown on the inbound. He gives it to Ben Murray. Ben Murray bringing up the ball by himself. Look at that speed as he brings it all the way down inside before having to dribble back outside. He gives it over to Dahlstedt Brown in the corner. Dahlstedt Brown fakes, dribbles inside, loses the ball, but they're saying it went off of a Newton South defender, probably Icardi, as he came over to help. As Dahlstedt Brown got around Haddam, but now Dahlstedt Brown will be inbounding it. Looking for an option. He gives it outside to Bryce Burke. Burke fakes, drives inside, goes for the pass. Knocked away, but recovered by Burke. He turns around, puts it the shot, front rims it. No good. Haddam with the rebound for Newton South. He brings it across half court. Haddam holding the ball on the left wing. He dribbles towards the center, then gives it out to Menz, back to the left wing. Menz starts to dribble inside. He kicks it out to Ryan Haddam all alone in the right corner. He goes for 3, no good. But Haddam collects the offensive rebound and draws the loose ball foul from Bryce Burke. That'll be Bryce Burke's second foul of the game, sixth foul of the half for Brookline. Miles Avalon checks out of the game for Jamari Jones, to a round of applause from the Brookline faithful. Icardi inbounds over to Haddam in the left corner. Icardi slips. He's trying to get it away. He manages to escape, gives it over to Menz. Menz tries to pass it, bounces off the leg of Jamari Jones, and is recovered by Ben Murray. Ben Murray brings the ball slowly across half court. He starts to drive quickly. It's poked away from behind by Stewart. Grabbed by Menz. Pass ahead to Stewart. Stewart with a nice two-step move. And he hits the layup. A nice two-step move gets him around Bryce Burke for the lay-in. And 62-55 is now the score. 4:30 to go as Bryce Burke brings up the ball slowly. He passes it over to Ben Murray. Ben Murray holding the ball, trying to direct traffic. He's looking for a pass option. He starts to dribble, goes inside, hits traffic, tries to force the layup, and it goes in! Two guys in his face, and Ben Murray still hits the layup. Icardi passes ahead to Haddam on the left wing. 64-55 the score as Haddam holds the ball from Newton South. He passes it over to Menz in the corner. Menz goes around Murray, blocked from behind by Murray on the layup. Ben Murray with the block. The loose ball is recovered by Jamari Jones, who then gives it over to Ben Murray. Murray passes over to Bryce Burke across half court. Burke holding the ball, taking his time. He passes over to Dulstep Brown in the corner. Dulstep Brown pulls up, hits the long two. No, they're going to say that was a three. I thought maybe his foot was on the line, but I guess not. 67-55 now the score. Icardi brings it up, gives it over to Haddam. Haddam with a nice spin move around Ben Murray, and he hits the layup. 67-57 now the score. Less than 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. Brookline now has a double-figure lead at 67-57. Bryce Burke dribbling. He tries to go inside for the layup. What a move! Bryce Burke weaves around several defenders and gets the nice rim roll for the lay-in. But after a Hail Mary pass over to Chris Menz hits the layup and responds quickly. 69-59 now the score. We have a timeout by Newton South. 3:06 to go in this game, and I can breathe for a second. My goodness me, the back and forth between these two teams. The fourth quarter is heating up here in Schlutz Gym. I'm not even out there on the court, and I'm starting to sweat. Brookline leading Newton South 69-59, 3:06 to go. Newton South with 9 team fouls. Brookline in the bonus and just 1 foul away from shooting the double bonus. Meanwhile, Brookline is 1 foul away from going into the bonus and giving Newton South the automatic 1-and-1s. And the only reason I bring that up is that bonus was huge for Brookline in their comeback attempt. Got 4 clutch free throws off the 1-and-1s they were granted by those 1-and-1s late in the third by Ben Murray and then Miles Avalon. Miles Avalon coming through with some truly clutch moments so far late in this game off the bench. And then Lucio Dulstep Brown with 2 3-pointers in this fourth quarter. Can't understate the impact of that either, as the lead has now been extended to a double-digit lead for Brookline. And as they come out of the timeout, following the layup by Chris Menz, Brookline will inbound the ball. Lucio Dulstep Brown looking for the inbound option. He gives it to Ben Murray. Ben Murray taking his time across half court. Now across half court looking for the pass. He swings it over to Bryce Burke on the right wing, who then gives it to Lucio Dulstep Brown in the corner. Dulstep Brown dribbles around, gives it back to Ben Murray up top. Murray holds it, then starts to dribble inside. Goes for another layup with a guy in his face. Nothing doing, but Lucio Dulstep Brown with the offensive rebound and the putback to make it 71-59. Newton South now with the ball. Prodowski holding it on the left wing. A heave over to Haddam that almost flies out of bounds, but caught by Haddam. Haddam holding the ball. He dribbles, gives it over to Prodowski. Prodowski pulls up from deep. Front rims it, no good. Rebound collected by Dulstep Brown, who then gives it over to Ben Murray. Brookline taking their time across half court. Just over 2 minutes left. Murray gets around his defender. Kicks it out to Dulstep Brown. Dulstep Brown for another 3, no good. Stewart with the rebound for Newton South. He heaves it over to Menz, but Menz could not touch it. It's out of bounds. 2:02 left to go as Max Icardi checks back into the game for Newton South, replacing Philip Roberts. And we got a sub for Brookline. The fans are like this. Miles Avalon coming back into the game, replacing Jamari Jones. Ben Murray looking for the inbound. And he inbounds over to Bryce Burke. Burke taking it slow, less than 2 minutes to go. Burke gets across half court. Being covered by Stewart. Burke trying to dribble. He backs off, slips a little, then runs inside and hits another layup. Bryce Burke with some nice moves to get around his defender. 73-59 score. Max Icardi brings it across for Newton South. Passes over to Ryan Haddam on the wing. Haddam back up top to Icardi. Icardi trying to dribble inside. It's poked away by Avalon. The ball is lost out of bounds, but they're saying it's off Avalon. Miles Avalon with some nice defensive plays this second half. Newton South with the ball, but a 14-point deficit that I don't think anyone would have seen coming after these first 3 quarters. The ball is inbounded. Chris Menz goes for a 3-pointer, misses. Loose ball rebounded by Murray. Murray passes to Ordonez in transition. Murray goes for the nice move, misses the layup, but Ben Murray is right there. So the co-captains work together to get the layup for Ben Murray. Chris Menz brings it up, passes it over to Icardi. Icardi gives it back up top to Prodowski. Prodowski out to Haddam. Haddam over to Icardi on the wing. Icardi spins, drives inside, pump fakes, tries to turn around, but they're going to call a travel. Traveling call on Icardi. Brookline leading 75-59 over Newton South in what has been nothing short of a dominant fourth quarter with 1:03 left to play. We have a mass substitution for Newton South, and it looks like this game is just about over. We see Roberts, Enalama, Huff, as well as number 24, Chase Wright, and number 3, Dan Prodowski. Ben Murray holding the ball across half court for Brookline. Murray drives in, kicks it out to Avalon. Avalon driving inside, and he draws the foul but misses the shot. That was a hard collision for both Miles Avalon and Demetrius Huff. Yeah, it looks like Demetrius Huff was banged up a little on that collision, but the foul is called on Sean David Enalama. Miles Avalon going back to the line. This time in the double bonus, he gets to shoot 2. So regardless of whether they call it a shooting foul or not, he still gets 2. First free throw is good for Miles Avalon, and we have a mass substitution for Brookline. That's going to be Theo Murray, Daniel Dalzell, Alex Socorro, and Abraham Richardson coming out for all of the players that aren't Miles Avalon since he's still at the line. So Ordonez, Burke, Dahlstedt Brown, and Ben Murray all checking out of the game. No Brookline players in the blocks right now for this second free throw by Avalon. Avalon hits his second free throw, and he gets to check out for Jack Altman as the Brookline faithful chant, "We want Braintree," as their lead now extends to 18 points, 77-59. Philip Roberts controlling the ball for Newton South. He tries to swing it over to Enalama, knocked away by Socorro. Socorro picks up the loose ball, but it just went out of bounds. So the Brookline backup saying, hey, we can play too. There's a reason we're getting on the floor even if it's late in the game, and we have another sub for Newton South. That's number 15, Brendan Mogan, coming in for Huff. Newton South inbound, and it looks like they're going to call the foul during the inbound attempt on Theo Murray. That's Murray's first, but the 7th of the half for Brookline. So with 35.5 seconds, Newton South gets to shoot the bonus. Philip Roberts shooting the 1-and-1. Roberts goes for the first, and he hits it. The lead is cut down to 77-60. The PA announcer giving a warning to fans to stay off the court after the game. They know what's coming. I know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's going to be celebration time in Brookline here as Roberts goes for his second free throw and hits that one as well. 77-61 the score. About 30 seconds left in the game as Theo Murray brings it up. He drives inside, goes for the two-step move, runs right into a defender, misses. Richardson! Abram Richardson with the offensive board and the putback. Now 79-61. Now Chase Wright with the ball for Newton South. He gives it over to number 15 who drives inside, blocked by Altman. And I don't think they called the foul. 9.7 seconds left. as the shot was attempted by Brendan Mogan, but blocked by Jack Altman. Mogan inbounds, and we've got a trapped player. Roberts tries to dribble out of the trap, and it looks like he drew a foul. 6.4 seconds left. Brookline leading by 18 points, 79-61. A reminder, they came into this quarter leading by 3. The inbound to Roberts. Roberts driving in. He's blocked by Richardson. Picked up by Dalzell and dribbled out, and that is game over. Final score, 79-61. The Brookline Warriors defeat the Newton South Tigers. The Newton South Lions. Wow, that was a slip up, but regardless of who the opponent was, Brookline comes away with the win by 18 points. They came into the quarter leading by 3 and dropped 23 points in this final quarter while holding Newton South to just 8. An impressive final quarter off a clutch late third quarter performance. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I will be back with the post-game interviews after what is a pretty happy win for the Brookline Warriors. 79-61 the final over Newton South. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Schluntz Gym. I'll be right back. Hello, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan back at the Schluntz Gym on the campus of Brookline High School, where the Brookline High Warriors have just dealt a surprisingly lopsided win at the end there against Newton South, 79-61. I'm here with two of the architects of this win, Miles Avalon and Lucio Dahlstedt Brown. Gentlemen, where did that fourth quarter come from? I gotta ask.
I feel like they just came out the gate like talking a bunch of smack, and like we really had to prove something. Like, this is our house. Like, we're Warriors, and like we just wanted it. We just wanted it more.
We started playing really hard D, and they couldn't get past us, and then that just transitioned into our offense. So it really helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Miles, late in the third quarter, team's still down 2. You've been trailing basically the whole game. You go to the line for a 1-and-1. If you miss even one, the opportunity's gone, and you must have had ice in your veins. You came through with both, tied the game, and from there, game was yours. Take me through that first moment.
Well, my sister once told me, she was like, Miles doesn't miss free throws, and I just had that in my mind. I was like, I got to make these free throws for my team. I saw the score, it was 48-50, and I was like, I got to make these 2 to tie the game up, even though I missed the first 2. But I was like, no, like, I have to make these 2 for my team.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hit them down.
You were the main member of 2 really big plays as you guys started to come back. The first was those free throws, and the second, guys coming around the corner, and then you go fly and you block his shot, leads to a fast break basket. You guys start to pull away. How awesome was it to get that block?
That block was good. Like, I had my back turned out first. Yeah, I had my back turned out first, and I was like face guarding, and then I saw that like after someone got beat, and I just turned around and I just like went and got it. Mm-hmm. And I was good like that. I hyped up the crowd, I hyped up everybody, and like that was just the energy we needed.
Exactly.
And we talk about energy plays. Lucio, after your first big energy play in the fourth quarter, I think your teammates almost killed you.
Oh my God! I fell on my back. I didn't know they were going to push me that far.
You didn't know you were going to be outnumbered on that, did you?
I did not. I had to chill them down.
Yeah, no, but you came through with a couple of nice big threes. I mean, some nice ball movements, some nice shooting. You guys had some struggles shooting early on, including from the outside, which has been your bread and butter. Yes. And then, of course, from the free throw line, you and Ben hit the free throws, and then you started hitting the threes. What was the big turnaround in the fourth quarter that you guys finally started finding the rhythm?
I think I just started, after my first shot in the fourth quarter, I just started hitting more. And once I get a rhythm, I never missed. So I just kept shooting, and I got my shots in. So that was good.
Yeah. This team was one of your toughest opponents in terms of margin throughout the first several games this season. You just clobbered them by almost 20. What does this do for the team's mentality going forward?
I mean, it shows us who we really are. Like, we can compete with anyone at any level, at any given day, at any given time.
We play together. It's hard to beat us. We're unbeatable. We play together.
Any final words for the listeners?
I don't even know. I mean, yeah.
Well, I guess the scoreboard says it all, right?
Yeah, that's how
absolutely.
I feel. I let my game do the job.
All right, well, 3 straight wins, an 18-point victory. You guys have plenty to celebrate. Thank you. Have a good rest of your night, gentlemen.
You too. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Well, that was Miles Avalon and Lucio Dahlstedt Brown of the Brookline High Warriors, triumphant after a 79-61 win over the Newton South Lions. They trailed for almost the entire game, and then, as you heard, a couple of clutch free throws by Miles Avalon to tie. And then they just took off in that fourth quarter with the help of a couple of big three-pointers by Dahlstedt Brown, and everybody started chipping in, and before you knew it, they outscored Newton South by about 15 points in that fourth quarter. Big on the way to a win. Brookline improves to 8-2 on the season with their third straight victory, their second straight of a 4-game home trip, and they'll be back here for their next game, and I will be hoping to be back here as well. I hope you will be listening. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Schlunz Gym, signing off.